Hi everybody, this is Suyash Keshri and today we're doing this video just for you guys because I get a lot of questions on which kind of books I read to learn more about wildlife. So come on here, we have a lot of books here and I'm just going to pick a few that are one of my favorites, and I suggest that you pick up if you are into wildlife, you want to learn about wildlife, or just want to casually read something besides whatever usually you're reading. I think let's start with the book on Indian mammals. This is very important for me, especially because wildlife photography, wildlife filming, presenting in front of camera, all of that is quite tricky and technical. But also when you see animals, you need to understand how to interpret their behavior. You need to understand the species, what is it that makes them special, and you need to communicate this to your audience. So this is one of the books that has really helped me. It's by Vivek Menon. There's a new version out as well of the same book. And if you come closer and see, I'll just flip through the pages. So of every single animal, this is for elephants. Let me just go to the first page for elephants. For the elephants, of course, they have some beautiful photographs, but they have a lot of different information. How the trunks of African and Indian elephants are different, where are they found, some behaviors, vocalizing and communication, diet and foraging, social organizations and reproductive strategies. So this is giving a lot of information to me, and I know this is a lot of dense information, but if you're serious about this industry, this field, then you have to know and read all of this and digest it. So when I'm standing in front of camera, then I can tell the camera and tell the people watching, and as well as my guests who are on safari with me, how old an elephant is, how much an elephant can eat, how elephants vocalize and communicate with each other. Like for example, this very interesting statistic, or rather not statistic, this interesting thing that I learned about elephants quite some time back through another book is elephants actually communicate a lot through vocalizations that can't even be heard by you and I. The vocalizations are so minute, and they also feel the movements of each other through their toes, which is very cool, and it's something really cool to be sharing on camera and with your guests. So the book on Indian mammals is highly recommended by Vivek Menon. I need to get the new edition. This is the older edition. It was recently released. Second book for me has to be the Birds of India book, and this one is by Chris. I always find it difficult to say the last name, so I'm just gonna let you see it. How do you say it? Kazmierzak. Yeah, Chris Kazmierzak. And again, this is a reference book. So a lot of people ask me, oh Suyash, how did you learn about this bird or that bird? How did you know how to identify it? Well, it's been through books like these. Whenever I'm free, I just flip through them. There are hundreds and thousands of species here. This is the one for Indian subcontinent, and this is from the Om Field Guides. Of course, there are many other bird books out there, bird reference books out there. I'm not gonna say which one's better. This is the one I have. There are a few others that I have as well, but those are older versions. This is a new version. So again, when you come here, and let me just flip to a page. So this is for honey buzzards, bazars and kites. So you see there are different photographs, not photographs, rather these are pictorial representations, and these are artistic representations rather. There's a little bit about them, what they eat, the size, their scientific name, and of course where they're found. So it's very easy sometimes when I see a new bird that I might not know, or maybe I have a picture of a bird that sometimes is questionable whether it's a certain species, I look into this and I refer this book a lot. Also when I'm on trips with guests and guiding them, sometimes it's really interesting to just open this book and say, okay, this is the bird that you're seeing right now. So yeah, this is a must-have. Okay, and the third book that I'd always recommend is, and it's one of my favorite books, a lot of people don't know, I actually love reading about trees. And I'm just gonna sit down for this. By the way, if you haven't seen, this is my work setup. That is of course Solo, and it just feels amazing that she's kind of right by my side. And behind me is our boy 7D. named after the 7 and the T-shaped marking. If you follow my work, you know about him. And come on here. So let's just see this Jungle Trees of Central India. This book is again a field guide. So this book is by Pradeep Kishan, and Pradeep Kishan has also written a book on trees of Delhi. I'm sure he's written other books as well, but I'm not aware, or rather I haven't researched about it. But this book is super helpful because again, you know that I am born and brought up in Central India, but I also work a lot there, and there are so many trees, different species of trees, and you can't possibly know all about them. So this is a book that I refer to a lot when I don't know about a certain tree and I want to learn about a certain tree. I've learned some really cool facts from this book. For example, and again, this is something I share while presenting in front of camera or share with guests, like mahua. You know, mahua tree is super important, and a lot of people know that mahua has alcoholic properties. But did you know the seeds of a mahua, they are actually used to kill small fish. Earlier times, what used to happen is when farmers wanted to go out and catch fish, they did not have nets, right? They used to take this seed, they used to mash it up, rub it, and throw it into a pond. The fish would die and come up, but the poison is not that bad that it can affect a human. So they used to harvest this lot of quantity of fish without doing much work. How they ended up finding the use of this, I have no idea, but that's such a cool thing that I learned from this book, and that's something that I share with my guests, with all of you guys I've shared it in Wild Chat Live and through Instagram stories. So this is a very cool book. Again, I'm just going to show you something. Like if you come closer, you know, it has different kinds of information from flowers, petals, the seeds, the bark, and the fruits, different times of the year, how the tree looks, and it's very useful. Again, that doesn't mean that I've been able to finish this entire book. I still refer to it, and by no means do I consider myself an expert on trees. Pradeep Kishan is, and I would love to meet him someday. Maybe he watches this video and we get a chance to meet. Alright, let's keep this back. Also, if you see, I'm kind of an organization freak. I like to put all my books in order, but this one is not in order, and it's only because there's like a separator and divider here, and I just can't put that book. And every time I look at it from my desk, it kills me because I'm kind of OCD about it. Okay, so we've done 3 books, and now 4th book. Let me see, which one do you guys want to check out? Okay, next one is a book which is kind of lesser known, and it's about Reptiles of India. This is the one I use, by Indranil Das and Abhijit Das. And again, I'm pretty good with mammals. I've become really good with trees, and I'm excellent, I know, with tracking. And again, not saying it just to toot my own horn. I've been told that, and I know I can track animals really well. One thing I was not good at was reptiles. So I picked up this book, and again, you know, in my free time, I just go through it. And if you come closer, you can see it has a lot of pictorial representation, the distribution, as well as the diet of these different reptiles that are found across the Indian subcontinent. There's a lot of information here. It's difficult to digest, and also a little difficult for me to really put it into use, because Central India, the snake diversity is pretty high, but the sightings of snake is very low. You have to go towards the southern or eastern or extreme parts of India to find that. But again, if you want to learn about snakes, this is the guide for you. Okay, now let's get to the last one, and it has to be one of my favorite ones, and it is a secret. No, it's not a book by me. It is, and it's not a secret book either. It's just a cover that I got made because I use it in the field a lot, and you know, if I'm using it in the field a lot, there can be water, there can be dust that goes into it, and I just want to avoid that and keep it nice. This is by 2 of my friends, David Raju and Surya Ramachandran, and I really like this book because it's a photographic guide to wildlife of Central India. And if, as it says, you know, this book has a lot of information about Central Indian wildlife, all the mammals, and then all the birds, all the butterflies and moths, even dragonflies, and guess what? Even reptiles and amphibians. So this is a very holistic book. Of course, it doesn't go very deep into all the animals and birds as much. It just has a brief description of each. But again, something that is good for reference, something that is good to just learn from and read about. Once again, if you want to succeed in any industry, not only wildlife, you need to completely remember that you have to increase your knowledge every single day. There's always something to learn. And even when I'm not learning through books, when I'm in the field, I'm learning every single day. I'm learning in every single moment. And I'm not afraid to admit that there are many things I might not know. So a lot of people ask me, maybe on a safari with me or maybe on Instagram, what is this particular species of spider? And I might not know it. And that's because I'm still in the process of trying to learn everything. I think it'll take a lifetime to learn about wildlife of the world, wildlife of India, let alone the world, because there are just so many tremendous species in our country. So I hope that video was helpful. If you liked it, please drop a comment below. And if you want us to make some similar videos about something else, let us know in the comments. Thank you for the love. Thank you for your continuous support. And I love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.